Bonjour tout le monde. Aujourd'hui, c'est vendredi, le 2 septembre, and that is a great segue into our first activity, calendar talk. Okay, so let's think of our days of the week. Lundi, mardi, mercredi, jeudi, vendredi, samedi, dimanche. Aujourd'hui, c'est vendredi. Vendredi, le 2 septembre. La date, c'est le 2 septembre. Aujourd'hui, c'est vendredi. Donc, demain, c'est samedi. Samedi. And quick little side note, days of the week and months are not capitalized in French. So you'll find that vendredi, samedi, all of our days of the week, all of our months are going to begin in lowercase, so a little bit different than what we're used to in English. Demain, c'est samedi. Donc, le lendemain, c'est dimanche. Dimanche. Okay, aujourd'hui, c'est vendredi. Demain, c'est samedi. Le lendemain, c'est dimanche. Aujourd'hui, c'est vendredi. Donc, hier, c'était jeudi. Jeudi. Hier, c'était jeudi. Donc, avant-hier, c'était mercredi. Mercredi. Avant-hier, c'était mercredi. Hier, c'était jeudi. Aujourd'hui, c'est vendredi. Demain, c'est samedi. Et le lendemain, c'est dimanche. Okay. A, our countdown down here. Il y a combien? Combien, how many? Combien de jours avant le week-end de Labor Day? Le week-end de Labor Day commence samedi. Aujourd'hui, c'est vendredi. Donc, un jour avant le week-end de Labor Day. Okay, that has been calendar talk pour aujourd'hui. Après, you have a quiz today. This is your very first listening quiz. There is not a slide for it here. You'll need to go to Schoology, to this week's folder. Actually, you can access it over in the upcoming as well. Vendredi. And it's down here for you. The quiz is going to be in the form of a Google form. So you have to click on the link. And then it's pretty straightforward. Your name, click Online Academy. Now, you have watched the story already. So if you feel like you know the story pretty well, you do not need to watch this first video. But if you have not even looked at the story yet, you'll need to watch the video so that you can understand the story. The write and discuss needs to be, and this was also an assignment for yesterday, needs to be in the back of your cahier, double-spaced, so that we can translate it next week. And then this next video is me making vrai ou faux statements. Vrai ou faux, true or false. So you'll see behind me the write and discuss. You're going to look at this and determine whether the statements that I'm making are vrai ou faux based on this, not based on any other element of the story, but based on what you see behind me in the video. Okay, and so there's a place to answer each of the questions, and then you submit and you'll be all set. So that is your branche ou crocodile quiz. Next, you have your first quick write. So this quick write is actually going to be for me to get to know you a little bit better and for you to understand what it feels like to write for 3 minutes straight. We're not going to start in French with 3 minutes. We're going to start in French with 30 seconds next week. But for this week, we're going to write for 3 minutes in English. And then eventually, throughout the year, we'll get to where we write for 3 minutes in French. So you're practicing doing a timed writing. I get to know you a little better because you're just going to write in English. You can write about anything you want. You can write about your best friend, your dog, something you did over the summer, something you're doing this weekend, whatever floats your boat. So you are going to just write, and this is going to be in your cahier, in your notebook. Remember, you have a section for quick writes. So you'll put the date, and actually, if you go to the Schoology assignment, this will walk you through the instructions. So I apologize, these instructions are long, but this is going to be the same for every week with every quick write, so it won't change. And for some reason I can't get my screen to be bigger here, so oh well. So this is a weekly thing. You're going to be doing a quick write each week. And throughout the semester, or throughout the year, your time will get longer and longer. We'll start with 30 seconds, and then by the end of the year, we should be to 4 to 5 minutes. The first quick write you're going to do in English, and I do want you to upload it here. So you'll write in English for 3 minutes. You'll open up your quick write portfolio. You'll type your name on the first slide. This is just a slides presentation. Type your name. And then there are instructions and a rubric. Don't worry about that quite yet. And then depending on what day, if you do it today, you would write le 2 septembre. Just type it right here. And then you are not typing your quick write here. You are taking a picture of the quick write that you hand wrote in your cahier, your notebook, and you are downloading it to your computer, and you'll upload that from the computer. So let's say this is actually a picture of myself with my daughters, but if this were a picture of my quick write, I would select it. It would go in this box. And then, according to the directions, I would resize it and make sure it takes up the entire slide. So it will be nice and big and also clear. Please, please, please try to make sure that your picture is clear and I'll be able to read it. I've found that typically if you have a phone available, you can use your phone to do this, and that tends to be a little better than using your Chromebook, but you can also use your Chromebook to take a picture. Just make sure you're holding your notebook really still. Okay, and once you have uploaded to this, you'll be finished for this week. If you go back to our slide, you'll see, actually, I'm sorry, if you go back to the instructions in Schoology, you'll see that you won't need to upload every single week. So upload this week's just to understand how the process works. But then at the end of the quarter, which is October 14th, I'll be looking at these, and you'll basically give me 5 quick writes that kind of show your progress. So maybe the one from next week will show how you're doing as a total beginner. And then the one from a couple weeks later will be a little more progress, a couple weeks later, etc. So you'll choose 5 quick writes to upload into your quick write portfolio. So that does not have to happen every week. If you want to upload all of them and then be able to maybe just delete a couple of them later on when you're ready to turn it in, that's fine, but you don't need to do this every week. Also, I do not want to see that you've written a paragraph in English and put it into Google Translate. It doesn't fool me. It doesn't fool anybody. And I'm not saying that you would necessarily do it, but just in case, this is supposed to be what you know. You're showing me what you know. And really, your grade on this is going to be based on progress, much, much more so than perfection. I'll try to give you some notes to help you as the year goes on, but It's much more about, are you making progress? Are you adding to your vocab? Are you using more complex structures, etc.? So don't feel like this needs to be perfect. And please don't use any outside resources, because I just want, this is going to show me what you know. Okay, so those are your quick writes. That's a weekly thing. So I won't go through this spiel every week, but if you have any questions about it, obviously just ask. Last thing this week is your weekly check-in. So if you can, go ahead and weekly check-in. You'll open up Schoology. As you might recall from last week, it is one of your buttons on Schoology. So on our main page, it is the green button right here in the middle. So you'll click that. It will take you to a Google form. Please do fill it out for me. I want to know how you're feeling about class, but also how you're feeling just about school in general. I know online can be great for some, challenging for others. So if you need to vent about that a little bit, I'd love to hear it. I want to get to know you better through whatever avenues we can, because we're online. So this is one great way for me to get to know you better. Okay, so that is it for today. Bon weekend. Au revoir tout le monde.